Okay. Hello, everyone. This is going to be an example draft of what we're going to be seeing. I'm going to be specifically going for dinosaurs this time around. Okay, so this is an example for dinosaurs. These are going to be cards that you're seeing. Currently, this is just a digital version of what you're going to see. You're going to see 15 cards. They're going to come to you, and you're going to be passing them around. And you're not going to see the rest of the opponents doing it, but I'm just going to talk through what I'm going to do. So I should have talked about in these 15 cards already in the rules and how to draft are is that if you see a card, specific cards, you take the card. See a card, take the card. And one of those cards that we talked about is Mox Emerald here. And so I'm just going to highlight that. And that is absolutely going to be my first pick. But if I was really excited about drafting dinosaurs, let's look around and see some other options, even though this was the see it, take it. So we have Colossal Dreadmaw here that costs 6 and is a 6 attack, 6 defense. That's pretty sweet with the trample. We have Vaultborn Tyrant, probably the choice if I was going in dinosaur options. That it has a lot of power to it. It's even though it's 7 mana. We're going to talk about, of course, the other ways, and I should have already talked about the ways that you can maybe get it out faster than 7 mana. So Vaultborn Tyrant would be the pick if I really want to go into dinosaurs, but of course I see the see it, take it card. Other notable cards that keep your eye on, maybe they come back around to you, is Prismatic Vista. It allows you to go look for lands that you might need, and of course Patchwork Banner, where you're going to be saying, I want to play dinosaurs. Your dinosaurs are going to get an additional attack, an additional defense, and it gives you more mana ways. So should have talked about all of that. Some other notable cards, just a black and green land, Caracas. There's a lot of really great cards, but if I was going dinosaurs and I did not have a see it, take it card, I would probably take Vaultborn Tyrant. But we're going to go with Mox because that's the see it, take it. And I bring this guy usually right towards the center. And okay, so the next thing, dinosaurs. Anything see it, take it. I don't see any see it, take it cards, so that means we are flexible, we're open. Well, what kind of dinosaurs do we want? Well, I see a ton here. I see Quartzwood, Galta, I see Trapjaw, I see Hunting Velociraptor, and that's it. So out of those, which ones do I want? Some other noticeable cards that are still good cards, but not specifically dinosaur cards, is Horn of the Mark. If I can get multiple dinosaurs attacking, that's pretty sweet. Witch's Oven, maybe I can sacrifice some of my cheap dinosaurs, keep me in the game longer because dinosaurs are expensive. But as we're seeing right now, let's see, Hunting Velociraptor. Let's zoom in on this card. Hunting Velociraptor. It costs 3. It has 3 attack and 2 defense. And then it has this dinosaur spells you cast have Prowl 3. So we talked about that reading the card explains the card. And so don't be afraid of, oh, I have to memorize what Prowl is. Remember, we don't have to memorize anything. It should be exactly there on the screen. So if we read the italics, you may cast a spell for its Prowl cost, which would be 2 and a red, so 3 total. If dealt combat damage to a player this turn with a creature of any of its creature types. So basically, if we attack them with a dinosaur, we get to play a dinosaur for 3 instead of whatever the cost is. This is a great way of getting that Vaultborn Tyrant. Maybe that comes back around out for only 3 mana instead of 7. So I think that's a pretty darn great option. I want to play dinosaurs for cheaper. So let's take that card, Hunting Velociraptor. So that also tells us that we're going to be in red. And so at least a little bit. And so I might want to start looking for ways of producing red. Like I see this red and blue island, volcanic island. And then I see this Gond Gate that enters the battlefield untapped, and it adds a one of any color that other gates, and I know we have talked about the gates archetype in there. And let's see. Okay, so let's talk about dinosaurs. Do I see any dinosaurs in here? I don't see any dinosaurs. So now I'm starting to look at things that support my dinosaurs. So ships don't support my dinosaurs. Cats aren't really it. Pirates aren't really what I'm looking for. And so maybe I'm starting to look around and say, this I don't quite have. Even though Nykthos is a great land, I don't anticipate having a ton of dinosaurs. I anticipate having very strong few dinosaurs. Very big, very strong, very few. So I think in this time, I think because I just took the hunting velociraptor, that I think this volcanic island could be a really good option for me because it can produce both blue and red in case I get blue dinosaurs. And then also another option for me is this heraldic banner. If I start choosing a color, if I like this right now, the hunting velociraptor is red. Creatures of the chosen color, I would choose red right now. And then I can add more, get +1 and then I can add one red mana. And so that's pretty good. That's for three, but I think for right now, I think I'm going to take the volcanic island because I want options. I don't want to feel limited. And so volcanic island seems like a great card to pick up right now. All right, so let's go through this next pack. And remember, you're passing these packs around, and so other people have been taking cards slowly away from you. So I see Icon of Ancestry. Well, let's look for dinosaurs first. Oh, Regisaur Alpha. Awesome dinosaur. So it costs 5, it has 4 attack and 4 defense, and other dinosaurs you control have haste, meaning, like what we talked about in our keyword list, that they can attack the same turn that they came out. That's amazing for your dinosaurs. Very important. And we're not even done. When it comes into play, it brings its friends with it, meaning you get to create and pull one of the tokens that is a 3 attack, 3 defense dinosaur. So that's a great card for dinosaurs. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. Now, I want to talk about just a few other cards, just in case they come back. Through the Breach is really interesting. It costs 5, but you can put a creature card from your hand right onto the battlefield without paying its cost. It also gains that keyword haste, but you have to sacrifice it at the end of the next step. So right now, that's not really a card we're like very interested in right now, but it is a good card. And then it's Unclaimed Territory, where I would say I want to play dinosaurs, and you can add any color that I want. It's a land, so it could be any of the 5 colors, but I can only use those that color on a dinosaur card. So that's a great one. I'm really hoping that one comes back. But right now, this Regisaur Alpha is exactly what we're wanting. All right, so let's see what we got here. And I've also been taking a quick note, just any see it, take it cards. I haven't seen any of those, but I see an awesome card here. This Regal Imperosaur. It's 3 mana with that 1 green green, and then it has 5 attack, 4 defense, and it gives our other dinosaurs an additional attack and additional defense. That's pretty sweet. That's exactly what we want. So I'm going to highlight it, but let's peruse. Let's make sure there's nothing else crazy we want. These cards really don't help us too much. There's some interaction we might want to talk about later. Path of Discovery is not really for our deck. A land card that enters for green in any other color we choose. That could be really good. Maybe that comes back. And then Fabled Passage, a phenomenal card. Not quite see it, take it, but it's very, very good. So I'm really hoping that comes back. But Regal Imperosaur is exactly the kind of card we want in our deck. So I'm going to go ahead and place that in here. All right, now let's go through. I don't quite see any see it, take it cards, but and I only see 1 dinosaur. This is a little 2 mana dinosaur that is 3 attack, 2 defense. It has trample, meaning all that excess damage is going to go through. Whenever another dinosaur enters, so this guy's already in play, and if another dinosaur comes into play, you can have this guy become equal to that guy's the new dinosaur's power until the end of the turn. So this one only has 3 attack right now, but if we play our nice giant Regisaur Alpha, it can go up to 4, or even better, the Regal go up to 5, and even better if we find bigger dinosaurs. So that's exactly what we want. We want early play dinosaurs that can get even stronger when new dinosaurs come out. Exactly what I want to play. So I'm going to make sure we snag that yearling. And I'm just kind of sorting them by their cost. So this is cost 2, cost 3, and right now, there would be a cost 4, but we're going to cost 5. Any lands and anything that's not really related right now. Oh, and look what just came back. Vault-Born Tyrant. I love this dinosaur. It's one of the best dinosaurs. It's a see it, I'm darn near close see it, take it kind of card. And it goes super well with what we want to do. We want to play dinosaurs. We talked about it earlier, and it's going to be very, very powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to secure that awesome dinosaur pickup. Now we're starting to look at look at what the cards we picked up. We really picked up red and green dinosaur cards. So we kind of want to stay in that vein. And while this island isn't really quite helping us right now, it can communicate later. Hey, we have some options if we want to pick up some blue cards. So let's keep looking. I see two dinosaur cards. I see Quartz and I see Trapjaw. And Quartz is exactly our colors. Quartz Wood Crasher. Let's see. It's a 5 mana 6/6 trample. Whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deal combat damage to a player, you get to create dinosaurs equal to the damage dealt to the players. Wait, that's amazing. So if I deal damage to you, I get to create more things that are going to deal damage to you. I mean, that's what we call a multiplier. That is so good. And Trapjaw Tyrant. 5 mana, 5/5, and whenever it takes damage in Rage, whenever it takes damage, you can just exile something that your opponent controls, specifically a creature. So that's really good. But this double white is something that we're not really in right now, whereas Quartzwood is exactly the colors we're in. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take that Quartzwood Crasher because that fits so well with us. All right. So now I don't see any dinosaurs. So now we're in the last few picks of pack one. And so we may not see the exact cards we've been wanting to take, but let's see what else is here. We're looking really for green cards, red cards, and maybe really good cards otherwise. So for the ancestors, you choose a creature type. Well, we're choosing dinosaurs. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, which is your deck. You may reveal any number of cards of the chosen type, so up to 6 dinosaurs from among them, and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Flashback means you get to play it again later if you want for an increased amount of mana. Wow, this card's great. So for 3 mana, you get to potentially draw up to 6 cards. I think it's really good. Is there anything else that we want in this pack? This Gond Gate is good if we have more gate cards, and we don't really have any right now, so we don't really need to talk about this. For the ancestors, sounds great. Ooh, okay. We talked about this earlier. The unclaimed territory came back, and that's really good because it allows us to do green or red as long as we're using it specifically for a dinosaur. So I'm going to bring that unclaimed territory down and play it. And now we're really getting into this weird spot. So this Goblin Bombardment, you've got 2 mana. It stays out on the field, and moving forward, you can, anytime you'd like, sacrifice one of your creatures and have this card deal 1 damage to your opponent's creatures. That's pretty nice, but that's not really quite what we're going for. And so really, there's nothing we really want in this pack. And so out of all the cards, I think this is the one we're most likely going to play, but we're not going to play it probably because it doesn't fit with our theme. So I'm going to take it over to the sideboard, meaning it's just going to be on the side, and we have it in case we want it. Okay, so now looking at the rest of these cards, I see a gate card. So this is another gate. When it comes into play, tapped, okay? And then you have to pay 1 to put that land in, or else you sacrifice the land. Oof, so there's some cost to this, but you get to add 1 mana of any color. Let's take this as a maybe card. If we get more of these gates, maybe that'd be pretty good. But right now, we don't really quite need anything. Let's look around at some of these other cards, too. I see this Vraska Relic Seeker. So that's a 6 mana Planeswalker. Remember, Planeswalkers are like your friends, that they come alongside you, and you get to do one of the things once per turn. And so they have some life that's associated with them. And so, let's see. You get to create pirates, you get to destroy things, or target players' life total becomes 1. That's pretty good. We don't really have any black ways to create mana right now because it's not a dinosaur, so we cannot use unclaimed territory to make black for it. So I think what I'm just going to take is this Gateway Plaza for now to really make sure that we have the right colors. Oh, and all right, check this out. So, as Patchwork Banner comes in, it costs 3, and it sits there. It's an artifact. You choose a creature type. Dinosaurs. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, which is the +1 attack, +1 defense. Then you get to add 1 mana of any color. That's really, really cool. So I think I'm going to pick that up because that is exactly the kind of stuff we want. Is we want to be able to play our giant dinosaurs faster, and we want them to be strong. And then the Witch's Oven is similar to our Goblin Bombardment, where we can sacrifice creatures and do things with them. So that could be a side thing. I'm not really interested in that. We'll just throw that over to the side. And this Merfolk, we're not playing Merfolk, so we'll throw that over into the sideboard as well. Now we're on to pack two. So let's see what we get. Do we have any See It, Take It cards? We don't have any See It, Take It cards, but we have something very, very close. We have a fetch land. A fetch land is a land that allows me to look through my deck and get a land, specifically an island or a mountain, and put it straight onto the battlefield. That's really, really good. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to highlight it, and then let's look at some of the other cards, see if we see any dinosaurs. I do see a dinosaur here, this Spitting Dilophosaurus. And it's a black dinosaur. So we do have a ways to make black with this unclaimed territory and this gateway plaza. But is this black something that is good enough for us to play? Okay, whenever it comes in, you give one of your opponent's creatures -1 attack and -1 defense. And then the creatures that have the -1 attack, -1 defense, can't block your creatures. Oh, that's pretty good. So it kind of gets rid of them in a way. And I like getting rid of blockers because that's what's impeding. And I see this other dinosaur here. It's 7 mana, 5/5. Whenever it enters, you get to create a 3/3 dinosaur token. Very sweet. And you can discard this card and cycle it, essentially discard this card and search your library for a forest card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So right now, we would have to just look for basic forests since we don't have any special forests. But that's really, really good for mana fixing, and it's one of these giant dinosaurs. I'm going to hope that one comes back because I think right now, instead of paying 2 mana to do that, I really want to try to focus on trying to get better cards. Because right now, the Scalding card can go find my Volcanic Island, and it can just go find a regular mountain if I need it to. So as much as I really like this Spitting Dilophosaurus, it's out of the colors that we're in. And as much as I like this Nurturing Bristleback, I think it might come back. So I'm going to pick up the strong card that I really like seeing here is that Scalding Tarn. All right, do we see any See It, Take It cards? Not really. No See It, Take It cards. And so let's just go down. This is stuff for cats. Oh, okay. All right. I see another dinosaur. Seismic Monstersaur. So same thing as that green one we were just talking about, but this one goes and gets you a mountain if you cycle it. And then additionally, it's just a 6 mana 5/5 with trample. I like that. I like looking through my deck to try to find a mountain that I need because then I can go and also get my Volcanic Island. And if for some reason we need blue as well. So I want to keep that in the back of my mind. And then I also see this Shock. It's not a dinosaur card, but it deals 2 damage to any target. So if I have this in my hand, early plays, my opponents are playing things that I don't really like them playing, I can use this. It's 1 mana, and I can deal 2 damage. So just take this up, for instance. It could get rid of my little belligerent yearling pretty quickly just for 1 mana, and that's pretty good. So I want to keep that in the back of my mind as I'm looking through these cards. The Gates Ablaze deals damage to all creatures equal to the number of gates I control. Well, I only got 1 gate right now, so I'm not really interested in that because that'd be 3 mana, deal 1 damage. And then Strike It Rich. 1 mana, you get to create a treasure token. Ooh, this is something I might be interested in because I want to create treasure tokens that make me more mana faster. So I want to keep that in the back of my mind. So I've pretty much looked through everything. This last one here is a card that looks for lands and you get to put them onto the battlefield. That's really good, but at 4, I really want to be doing more things than that right now. I think the Strike It Rich is exactly where I want to be doing. That's a card that is going to be very productive in terms of it creates a treasure token turn 1. It's the first turn 1 play I actually can put in my deck. So I think I want to take that. Oh, okay. So I'm seeing some lands here. Oh, this one is a plains or a swamp. So I'm not really interested in either of those. Ooh, I see an Arid Mesa, which goes very well with my Scalding Tarn as well. So it'd be the second land that can go look for a mountain or plains. Um, and then I'm not really seeing any other. Oh, there's a Temple Altasaur. And so the Temple Altasaur is pretty good. It's not quite in my colors, but I like it. It's 5 mana, 3 attack, 4 defense, but it reduces all damage dealt to dinosaurs to 1. So even if they have a card that says deal 10 damage, it reduces it down to 1. That's amazing. And that's actually a card that I want to play because it keeps my dinosaurs around for a lot longer. So even though it's not quite in my colors, I'm going to take that into the 5 because that's super, super good. All right. Moving right along, I see some cats. Oh, a dinosaur charging monster sword. It's a 5 mana 5/5. It has trample and it has haste. That's really good. Not quite as good as the card next to it, Wayward Swordtooth. You get to play additional lands on your turn. That's how I start speeding up. That's really great. I really really like that. Now, even that is not as crazy as the See It, Take It card for dinosaurs, Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack is an enchantment, so you play it, it stays out there, and moving forward, you can, after you pay the 4 mana to play the card, you can pay 1 red mana and put a creature card from our hand onto the battlefield. It gains haste, and we sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Sneak Attack is exactly what we want for our giant costs. And let me tell you why, just really quick. It costs 4 mana to put into play, so we have 4 mana to start. And then we only need to use 1 mana to put any creature from our hand into play. So that's a total of 5 mana to get the benefit. And Vaultborn Tyrant is 7 mana. So we're saving 2 mana. And even though Vaultborn Tyrant will die at the end of the turn because we have to sacrifice him, look at its Vaultborn Tyrant ability. When Vaultborn Tyrant dies in that second paragraph, if it's not a token, so meaning it's the physical card, it is, you create a token that's a copy of it. So you just get another one for free. That works really well. So that's exactly why we see a See It, Take It card for our dinosaurs is Sneak Attack. Perfect card. Okay, so let's look through here. I don't see any dinosaur cards, and I don't quite see anything right off the top of the head that could be really good for my dinosaurs. I do actually, sorry, Awakening Sun's Avatar. When it enters the battlefield, if I cast it from my hand, destroy all non-dinosaur creatures. So that language is just anything that's not a dinosaur is destroyed. This is really cool and really cool way to win the game, but I'm not really into white. I'm still actually kind of looking for white lands to play this Temple Altasaur. So I think something that requires not only just 8 mana, but it needs to be cast, meaning I can't cheat it into play with Sneak Attack, and it needs 3 white. This is just not a card that I can play right now. So I think what I might do is either take this Fiery Cannonade, which deals 2 damage to each non-pirate creature. Now, even though that sounds, well, why would you do that? You're not playing pirates. Well, it's because my dinosaurs are pretty big and they can all, well, Hunting Velociraptor doesn't survive that. So let's take note, actually. 4, that would survive. 6, that would survive. Oh, and if the Temple Altasaur is out there, it actually only deals 1 damage to those pirates. That's to the non-pirates. So that's really good. Vaultborn Tyrant would survive. That's really, really good. I know. So I have 2 cards that would not survive. But all the rest of my dinosaurs would, and it could potentially wipe away all of my opponent's creatures. I think I want to take that. I think I want that card to be in my deck. All right, let's look through and let's see. I don't see any dinosaurs, and I see a gate card, so that goes well with my other gate I already have. And let's see what it says here. It doesn't add any colored mana, so it only adds colorless. And then you can pay 2 and use this land, and a creature will get plus X attack and plus X defense, where X is the number of gates. So at most right now it would only be 2. I really don't like that. I don't really see anything else I want, though. So maybe I just take that as like a speculative choice of saying, hey, if I get even more gates, that would really go well for me. So I'll take that just as a just in case there was really nothing else I wanted. Oh, and check that out. That's a gate right there that taps for red and green. So those are the exact colors I want. And it's a gate, which is perfect for the card I just picked up. So I see this Nurturing Bristleback. I know it's pretty good. But I've picked up a lot of dinosaurs. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, and having this red and green land that helps me cast all of my red and green cards is going to be super good. So I think I need to take that. That's going to be really important. Nice. Okay, sweet. So now, because I didn't take the dinosaur earlier, I prioritized my lands. I can take this seismic monstrosaur, and so that freed me up. I really like that. So I'm gonna drop that seismic monstrosaur down. Let's see. So Pyrohemia is a really interesting card, where you can pay 4 mana, put it into play, and then moving forwards, it's similar to our sneak attack. You pay 4 mana, put it into play, and then moving forward for 1 mana, you can deal 1 damage to each creature and each player. So on the surface, that might not sound too good because that hurts your creatures and yourself too. But we do. Actually, we don't have anything that has the enrage ability, so I think we'll just pass on that one. If we had dinosaurs that had the enrage ability, that might be really really good. But let's just pass on that right now. What does twists and turns do? If a creature would explore, which none of ours do right now, you get to scry one, then explore. This is more in the Merfolk deck, and I don't really think that there's anything there. If you control 7 or more lands, you turn it over. You can look at the top 4 cards of your library. You reveal a creature card. We already got cards that kind of do that, so I don't really need that. So none of these cards are really something we're interested in. So what I might just do is take this scrub land, the white and the black, and put it off into the sideboard, just in case we need white or black dinosaurs. Okay, so I see a gate here that adds white or black. And once again, we don't really need that right now. I know we need white eventually for our Temple Altasaur. But this Wayward Sword Truth came back, which allows us to play multiple cards in one turn, and that's just too good to pass up. So I think we're going to take that Wayward and put that over here. Okay, wow. Awakening Sun's Avatar comes back, but so does this Godless Shrine. So I still don't think we can take this Awakening Sun's Avatar. It's just too many white. But this Godless Shrine will go really well with the Scrub Land if we need a white or black dinosaur, which we could always throw in for this Temple Altasaur later. And then really, there's nothing else in here. I appreciate these cards, but they're nothing really doing anything for me. So I might just put this Prideful Parent over here. And once again, nothing really else for me. I'll put another white card over here. Oh, and this Curious Route, Circuitous Route, I can't pronounce that, my fault, allows us to go look through our library for 2 lands or gates, which are lands, different types of lands, and then put them onto the battlefield tap. Well, now that we've got 1, 2, 3 gates, this is a pretty sweet card. So I think let's go ahead and put that into the deck. And then this cat, not really doing much to us. And our last pack. So do we have any See It, Take It cards? Sort of. So we've got Mox Opal, which is pretty good, but not in our See It, Take It. And then we have Polluted Delta, another one of those lands that search your deck, and it's not quite in our colors that we need either for the See It, Take It. So really, this is really an interesting choice here. Polluted Delta, because it can go search, this is where it gets interesting, because it goes and searches a blue or a black land for you, an island or a swamp, it can technically go and get this volcanic island, which technically gets us red also. So because Polluted Delta went and looked for this island, and this island also happens to produce red, then Polluted Delta not only technically gets us an island or a swamp, it also technically gets us a mountain. So maybe that's the choice, is because there's so many in here. But let's just double check. What's this Whatley do? Whatley enters, you search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Then you can pay 5 mana to exile her, return her back to her flip side, and you get this saga, this story. So on turn 1, you create some dinosaurs. Oh, that sounds great. Turn 2, you get this card taps for anything like green, red, or white. Oh, that's good. Those are also our colors. Then turn 3, you get to look through your library or deck for a dinosaur card. Sweet. And then turn 4, dinosaurs get double strike and trample. Okay, this is the exact card we want. This is exactly the card. This makes dinosaurs, it makes our dinosaurs stronger. That's exactly what we want to play. All right, so let's see. Oh, wow, look at these giant dinosaurs. So it costs 12 mana. It has 12 attack and 12 defense, and it has trample. And it actually has this cool ability where it's going to cost us less, where X is the total power of creatures I control. So if I have creatures that total in power of 10, then this creature would be worth 10 less in its cost. So that means it would only cost us 2 mana. That's really, really good. So I'm going to highlight that. Let's see what else we've got. This Sunfrill Imitator. Whenever it attacks, you may have it become a copy of another dinosaur, except its name is Sunfrill. So basically, it gets that ability. That's really, really good because let's see if there are. What would that be good to? Oh man, it can become a copy of this, which would make the dinosaurs even stronger. That's pretty good. And that's really all about it right now. So yeah, so I think while that's really good, it doesn't copy too much going on. Whereas, oh, and there's this runic Armasaur. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card. So activating abilities of creatures or lands that are not mana is very similar to, let's find it right here. Huatli. Huatli's ability is an ability. It has nothing to do with adding mana. Her when we try to exile her, so that means this runic would be able to have our opponent draw a card if we were playing against it. It does not count for our own things, so that's pretty good because I see a lot of creatures that had those abilities. And I think it's great. Like even Mistcaller right here, you sacrifice Mistcaller anytime you see those colons. That's it. But I think Galt is awesome. Galt is exactly what we want to be playing. Big creatures, big rewards. And oh my goodness, I see some sweet cards. I see another See It, Take It card, Flash. Flash is so good. We really, really only have one blue land to play this, so it'd be really risky. But Flash is you put a creature card directly from your hand onto the battlefield, similar to what this sneak attack is trying to get us to do. But you still have to pay its mana cost reduced by two. And so you might be thinking, well, aren't you just paying full price then? Because Flash costs two, and you just put a creature into play where costing up to two less. Yeah, that's true. But here's the workaround: if you don't pay the cost, you sacrifice it. So this Vaultborn Tyrant is really, really good when we put it into play and we choose, actually, I don't want to pay the cost. And Vaultborn Tyrant dies, and then its ability pops off. Whenever Vaultborn Tyrant dies, if it wasn't a token, create a token that's a copy of it. And so that's really, really good. Man, that's really good. But so is this Taiga. This is exactly what we need. And so is this Curious Altasaur. Whenever an Altasaur you control, whenever Dinosaur deals damage to someone, you get to draw a card. That's really good too. So we've got a lot of really, really good cards. I think right now, because we have such an amount of good dinosaurs we can play, I think I'm going to have to take the Taiga. And there's a Marauding Raptor down here where creatures actually cost one less. Actually, that's what we're going to take. Because all of my dinosaurs costing one less is so good. So I think that's what we're going to take. It only costs two. It survives the Fiery Cannonade. So I'm not worried about it dying too quickly. That's exactly what we're going to be taking. I see. So the only real dinosaur you see here is whenever historic permanent, and you'll see the italicized artifacts, legendary creatures, or stuff, and sagas are historic. Okay, enters the battlefield. So artifacts, we're really looking for artifacts and legendary stuff to come into play. You get another 7/7 dino. So let's see. I got one artifact with Mox Emerald. I got one artifact with Patchwork Banner. I've got a legendary with Galta because it says legendary creature there in its title. Yeah, I don't really. Oh, I have a legendary creature in Huatli. Yeah, I don't really have enough to justify another giant dinosaur. It's good, but I've got plenty of other dinosaurs that I'm working with, and so I'm gonna hold on to it as a maybe. And then this Badlands allows me to play black or red, and that's not really something that we're terribly interested in. Is there any reason why we would take this? Not really. Um, Yeah, we wouldn't really take that. And I'm kind of just quickly looking around. I'm not really seeing too many other things. So, you know what? Let's just take this displaced dinosaur and just see what happens. All right. Thrashing Bronodon. Here's a dinosaur. You get to sacrifice and destroy an artifact or enchantment. So if someone's enchantments are really causing us problems, we can go ahead and sacrifice this Brontodon and deal with it. That's pretty darn good. And you know that's the only dinosaur I see. Oh, and you get to add all sorts of colors because of gates. Thanks to this gate, that's pretty good. Hmm. Yeah, I think I still want the Thrashing Brontodon. That's just a really great card. So I'll place that here. Let's see. Uh, Marsh Flats gets me a white or a black land, which I have none of those, so that's really not too good for me at all. And I see a dinosaur here that's black though. At the beginning, it's a 3 mana, 7 attack, 6 defense. That's huge. But at the beginning of my upkeep, I have to discard a card. I don't really. That's not really quite what I'm looking for. So I think I'll just take this land as a maybe, maybe something I need. And let's see. I see this Vanquisher's banner. When it enters the battlefield, I get to choose dinosaurs. And creatures, dinosaurs, get +1 attack, +1 defense. And whenever you cast a dinosaur, I get to draw a card. That's kind of exactly what I want to do. That's really sweet. It adds more to my range of things I can do on my turns. And then that's a good card. Okay, then Runic Armasaur came back. That's pretty sweet and is a sweet dinosaur, so I'll gladly take that. And then, oh, look at that. The Taiga came back. Okay, sweet. So, Taiga coming back. It's red and green land. That's really good. That's exactly what I want. Um, and then, nothing really in here. So, I think I'll just take the Necromancy because it's almost a see it, take it card. Um, and then, out of these cards, nothing really is all that important to us. So, I'll just take a card. Once again, I'm seeing a bunch of cards that are not really all that good to us, and I'm just kind of taking some cards that we don't really need. We're okay. And we did a really good job on this draft. That's the end of the draft. And so this is kind of our deck. We have a bunch of 3 drops, we have some 2 drops, 5 drops. I really like what we did here. I really think that we did a lot. We prioritized finding cards that allowed us to play these giant dinosaurs as fast as possible, especially with our sneak attack. So I really think we're going to do a good job. I think there's ways to really ramp up quickly as well in case we don't get that sneak attack. So I really think that this could be a really cool potential deck. Thanks for watching.